Have you ever found yourself surrounded by people, maybe at a family gathering or a community event, but still felt strangely alone? You're smiling, you're nodding, you're even making small talk, yet there's this quiet emptiness sitting in your chest, a feeling that no one in the room really sees you. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. Emotional loneliness can happen at any age, but after 60, it can sneak into our lives in ways we might not expect. Retirement, losing a spouse, kids moving away, or friends moving to different places, all these life changes can leave gaps in our emotional world. And sometimes, it's not about having no one around, it's about feeling disconnected, even when you do. Today, we're going to talk about 5 hidden signs of emotional loneliness after 60, signs that often go unnoticed until they start to quietly affect our happiness and even our health. More importantly, I want to share with you how to start finding joy again, even if it feels far away right now. I want you to know, this isn't about pointing out what's wrong with you. This is about noticing what's really going on beneath the surface, so you can take small but powerful steps toward feeling more alive and connected. One of the first hidden signs is when conversations start feeling empty. You might still talk to people, maybe your neighbor about the weather, the cashier about groceries, or even your family about what they've been doing, but the talks don't go any deeper than that. It's like eating a meal that fills your stomach but leaves you unsatisfied. This can happen so gradually that you don't realize it at first. You might even tell yourself, well, at least I'm talking to people. But if those conversations never touch on your real thoughts, feelings, or experiences, they can leave you feeling more isolated than silence would. It's like being hungry for connection but only being offered crumbs. The way to begin changing this isn't necessarily by finding brand new people. It can start with gently deepening the conversations you already have. You could share a memory, ask a question that invites more than a yes or no answer, or talk about something that matters to you. Sometimes, even just admitting, I've been feeling a bit lonely lately, can open the door for a more real, heartfelt exchange. Another hidden sign is when you start losing interest in things you used to enjoy. Maybe you loved gardening, baking, going to the library, or playing cards with friends, but now, the thought of doing those things feels flat. You might think, I'll do it later, but later never comes. Losing interest doesn't always mean depression, though it's important to keep that in mind. Sometimes, it's a subtle sign that we're missing emotional connection. Joy often grows when we share experiences with others, or when something we do feels meaningful. Without that spark, even our favorite activities can lose their color. If you've noticed this happening, try starting small. Instead of telling yourself you have to dive back into a big hobby right away, give yourself permission to do one tiny thing connected to it. If you love baking but haven't felt like it, maybe just pick out a recipe. If you love gardening but haven't been outside, maybe just water one plant. Small steps can reignite that sense of engagement. The third sign is a tricky one because on the outside, it can look like you're doing just fine. It's keeping busy, maybe even busier than you used to be, but with activities that don't really feed your soul. You might be volunteering, running errands, cleaning, watching TV, or scrolling on your phone, all to avoid that quiet moment when the loneliness might show itself. Busyness can be a comfort, but it can also be a disguise. If every moment is filled with something that keeps you distracted but not truly fulfilled, it's worth asking yourself, what am I avoiding feeling? One way to gently address this is to create space in your day for something that feels intentional rather than just filling time. That could be sitting down with a cup of tea and calling an old friend, writing a short letter, or spending time on a creative project. When you fill your time with things that actually matter to you, it nourishes you in a way that mindless busyness never can. Now, another hidden sign of emotional loneliness is withdrawal, saying no to social invitations, even from people you care about. Maybe someone invites you to lunch, and you politely decline, telling yourself you're too tired, the weather's not great, or it's just too much trouble. Or maybe you don't answer the phone when it rings, even though you know it's someone you like. On the surface, this can look like choosing comfort, but often it's a form of self-protection. When loneliness sticks around long enough, it can convince you that showing up is risky, that you might feel awkward, out of place, or disappointed. But here's the thing, the same walls that keep out discomfort also keep out joy. If this sounds like you, try making one small agreement with yourself to say yes to just one invitation this week. It doesn't have to be anything huge. Maybe it's meeting a friend for coffee, attending a short class, or going for a walk with a neighbor. You might be surprised at how much lighter you feel afterward. The last hidden sign I want to share is losing your curiosity. Maybe you used to love learning something new, a skill, a craft, even just reading about interesting topics, but now, the idea of starting anything new feels exhausting or pointless. You might think, what's the use, or that's for younger people. But curiosity is one of the most powerful tools we have for staying vibrant at any age. It's what keeps our minds active, gives us reasons to connect with others, and helps us see the world as a place full of possibilities rather than limitations. If you've noticed your curiosity dimming, give yourself a small challenge. It could be trying a recipe from a different culture, taking a short online class, or even watching a documentary on something you know nothing about. You don't have to master anything, just allow yourself to be interested again. Now that we've talked about these signs, empty conversations, loss of interest, busyness without meaning, withdrawal from social invitations, and fading curiosity, I want to remind you of something important. Noticing them isn't a reason to judge yourself. It's a reason to take care of yourself. Loneliness doesn't disappear overnight, but it can change, and you have more influence over it than you might think. Start with one step. Make one call. Share one real thought. Try one new thing. Every small act of connection builds on itself. And remember, joy doesn't always come as a big, dramatic burst of happiness. Sometimes, it's something that grows slowly, like a plant you water a little each day. Keep tending to it, and over time, you'll notice it starting to bloom again. If you've been feeling the weight of emotional loneliness, I want you to know, you are not invisible, and you are not alone. There are people out there who would be grateful to know you, to hear your stories, to share a laugh or a quiet moment with you. Sometimes, all it takes is letting them in. If this message has resonated with you, I'd love for you to share your thoughts in the comments. Let me know which of these signs you've seen in your own life, or what steps you're taking to bring more connection and joy into your days. Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear. If you found value here, please give this video a like, it really helps more people find it. And if you'd like more conversations about living well, staying connected, and finding joy at any age, hit that subscribe button so we can keep walking this journey together. Here's to a life filled with connection, curiosity, and the kind of joy that grows deeper with time. You deserve it.